Hey guys, it's me again, Miss Ricky. Last time we talked about something, or we talked about using our words to let people know what we need. How has that been going for you? Have you been using your words? Have you been saying how you're feeling and what you need to calm your brain down and to get on to the next thing? It takes practice. I say that a lot, but it takes lots and lots of practice. This time we're going to talk about something that is sometimes hard for a lot of people, even adults sometimes. We're going to talk about switching activities. Sometimes we're doing something we really like to do, like playing at recess, then all of a sudden it's time to go inside, and that can be hard. But today we're going to learn about how we can make it a little bit easier. So maybe sometimes too, you're learning from home, and so maybe you're watching a show in the morning and then someone at home says, hey, it's time to get on Class Dojo, we got to do our work. And it's really hard to move on to the next activity because you're watching a show and you're really into it, or maybe you're playing a game or playing with your toys, and it's hard to move on to something else. I get that. I know it is really hard. Sometimes even, Miss Ricky has a baby. And sometimes when he's napping, I'm getting all my work done and I get lots of things done, and then he wakes up and I'm in the middle of something, and it's hard for me to switch from doing my work to helping the baby because I'm so focused on what I'm doing. So we're going to learn about some ways to help transition to handle that a little bit better and make it a little bit easier for us. And remember, it's all about practice, and it's all about just trying to use these tools to make things better, right? All right, so today I have Transition Trudy here and Lieutenant Transition Travis. So let's see what happens. These blocks are so much fun. I love building ships with my blocks. I'll build a submarine next. Okay, class, we have 2 more minutes in our center time, then we'll be cleaning up our materials in 2 minutes. This is going to be the best submarine ever. Where's that hexagon block? Ding, 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 ding. Beep, 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 beep. You know what that means. It's time to freeze. Put your materials down. Okay, class, let's clean up and put away our things so we can get ready for art. What? I'm not done with my submarine. I don't want to clean up. Trudy, let's pause for a moment. Take some deep breaths. In, out, in, and out. One more deep breath, Trudy. Trudy, remember when I said we had 2 more minutes? Those 2 minutes are up and it's time to get ready for art. Please put your box away. But I want to finish my submarine. We'll have another chance to use the blocks in the afternoon. You can build your submarine then. Okay. A little bit later that day. Okay, class, we have 10 minutes for free choice. I'll set a timer now. 10 minutes. Okay, I can build my submarine now. Okay, finished. Okay, finished. This is awesome. I'll make a sailboat next. Okay, class, we have 2 minutes left. I probably won't have time to finish the sailboat. I'll just make a flower. Ding, 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 ding. You know what that means? It's time to freeze. Put your materials down. Okay, class, let's clean up and put away our things so we can get ready for reading time. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. She cleans up her stuff. Thank you for cleaning your materials up when you heard the timer, Trudy. You're welcome. So Trudy had a hard time because she was so focused on making her submarine, and then it was time to do art, right? Sometimes I've seen that happen with you guys. You're really focused on finishing your paper, but time is up and it's time to move from math to something else. And you get really frustrated because you want to finish. And I understand that. Sometimes we just want to get things done and we want to finish. And we have to remember to stop, take deep breaths, and know that our teacher or our parents are probably going to say we can finish it later or come back to it, right? If we get this done, we can go back and finish that. So you have to remember to say how you're feeling, and what you need, and to calm your brain down, right? I think that could help. So I was going to ask, how can we help ourselves get ready to change activities? We listen for the time reminders. We look at our schedule. Maybe at home you have a certain schedule of when you do things, or maybe you don't. That's okay. But at school too, you have a certain schedule in your day, right? You do morning meeting for so long, and then you move to breakfast, and then you come back to class and you do reading or stuff at the carpet, right? It's always a schedule at school, and sometimes being at home, having a schedule at home can help too, so you know what's next, and so you can have those time reminders. What can we do if we aren't finished with what we're doing, or we aren't ready to change activities? What can you do? Well, you could take deep breaths. Remember that we can do it again later or at another time, right? Sometimes it's just taking that time to pause and really think, what can you do? What do you need? How are you feeling? Remind yourself that you can always do it later, right? It takes practice, friends. It takes a lot of practice, and that's why we're doing this. So if we were together, we would have had an activity where I would have had us do different things and have to set a timer and switch to the next thing. So maybe at home, that's something you can practice. If someone's willing to help you at home, you can have maybe a list of things that you need to do, whether it's your chunk of math time, and set a timer of 10 to 15 minutes. And once that timer's up, you move to do something else, okay? And sometimes when we transition from things, let's say at home, parents or whoever is helping you, family members, that it's good to have a brain break in between things. Some teachers have been handing out or giving out like brain break things about like go noodles, maybe you take a dance break. Here are some other brain breaks that you can do. This one is students hop in place until the person calls out a pose. So you can do kite, which is like standing like this. You can do tree pose, is where you stand and put one leg up. Or you can do frog, where you squat down, or you just maybe make up your own poses. Okay, so you hop in one place and then someone calls out a pose to do, or maybe you could just do freeze and then you freeze however you want. This brain break is for 1 minute. Students hop on one foot, and students will count how many hops they get during that time. If they put the other foot down at any other time, they will start counting from 0. So you have to hop all in a row in 1 minute. That could be kind of hard. It's good to get your body moving though. This one is as a group or a family. You can, someone will sing and do hand motions for head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So maybe you have a song break and you do head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Just a quick little dance break, right? This last one is for 1 minute. Students will balance a pencil or a crayon on their index finger. If it falls, just try again. So maybe it's something like this. It's kind of hard. So you just gotta be patient, right? It's just about practicing. Now these are just 4 brain breaks, but there are tons of brain breaks out there. Even if you just Google brain breaks, there's so many different things that you can do. And it doesn't have to be these 4, it can be something different, or you can make up your own brain break. And that can help transition from one activity to the next. And maybe it's a good way to help calm you down too. So there's this other thing. When it's time to change activities, I can take deep breaths. I can clean up the things I'm using. I can remember that I'll get to do the fun activity again later. And I can move on to the next activity. So this is all about that it's hard to switch from doing something that you were trying to finish up and moving on to something else. Okay, it takes practice. So how do you feel when it is time to stop doing an activity to do something else? How does it make you feel when you have to stop doing something you like and move on to something else? Maybe it makes you feel frustrated or annoyed. What do you need? What's something that you can do? How can you help yourself feel better? Right? What are some activities that are hard for you to move on from? Is it playing? Do you really love math? And if you're not finished with what you need to finish and you have to do something else, is it hard for you to quit? Maybe it's hard for you to get off your device. Maybe you play on a phone or a tablet and it's really hard to stop. That's hard. It takes practice because we kind of can get addicted to playing on devices. And so it's hard to transition from one thing to the next. So you just got to learn how to do that because you can't be on it all the time. It's not healthy for your brain. Why do you think it's important to move on from activities when we are at school or at home, when you're learning at home? Why is it important to move from one activity to another? We got to get things done. We have only so much time in the day. We got to only spend so much time on it, right? And maybe it's time to move on to the next thing. You know, at school, your day is very structured. You come to school and you are doing school things from about 8:20 till 3:10 in the afternoon. And it seems like a long time, but your day is very scheduled and it's only so much time for certain things. So I don't know if that's how it is for you at learning from home, but if it is, you know, if your parents are still working and you don't have someone to help you all day with homework, you might only have a short chunk of time to get your work done. And so that might be hard to transition from doing all those things. And I know it's tough. But remember, families, students, Miss Ricky's here for you guys. If you need something, please reach out. So we do have a lot of fun activities when you're at home, when you're at school, and sometimes we have to stop doing these activities and move on to something else. Sometimes we might feel upset when it's time to move on, but we can help ourselves feel better. We can take deep breaths, and we can remember that we'll get to do that fun activity that we really like later. So I have one more video for you guys, and then that's it. And I hope that some of these things are helping you. And if you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay? Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.